Hi boys and girls, this is Vocabulary Lesson 8 and we're going to learn 3 new words this week and they're from the book The Two Bobbies, and here's Ruby holding the book. She likes the book too. Here we are on page 12 of The Two Bobbies, and this is where the hurricane caused a lot of damage to the city of New Orleans. And the first sentence says, month after month passed as Bobby and Bobcat wandered through the devastated city. The word we're going to focus on is devastate, and devastate means to destroy or badly damage. 2 synonyms are devastate and destroy. That means they mean about the same thing. If you look closely in on this picture, you can see that the hurricane devastated or destroyed the city. You can see trees knocked over and furniture all over the place and homes boarded up. The city has been devastated or destroyed. Can you think of any other synonyms that mean the same as devastate or destroy? Do you know any other words that mean about the same thing? I can think of a couple. What do you think? The words I thought of that were synonyms for devastate are wreck, ruin, and demolish. Places can be devastated by nature. For example, not only a hurricane, but a flood, an earthquake, and a tornado, they can devastate or destroy a city. Insects can devastate farmland. Think about what you might see if a flood devastates a town near where you live. Pretend you and your friends rush to the town and volunteer to help rescue people and pick up debris. What might you see after a flood has devastated a town? Think about that. Here's a town that has been devastated by a flood. You might see homes underwater. You might see cars floating away. You might see roads covered in water. That's what you might see if a flood devastated a town. So the word we learned today that means destroy or badly damage is devastate. For the next word, we're going to look here on page 18 and 19 where the 2 Bobbies have been rescued and taken to a shelter and placed in separate rooms. Let me read the first few sentences. All night long, Bobby howled and barked. Bobcat paced back and forth. No one could sleep with Bobby making such a ruckus. Ruckus is the next word we are going to focus in on today. What readers sometimes do when they run into a word they don't know the meaning of is they pay attention to the clues. And the clues might be in the sentence with that word or in a sentence before or after that word. So let's look at the word ruckus and let's see what the clues tell us that ruckus might mean. Okay, let's read these sentences again and figure out from the clues what ruckus means. I've got a square around the word ruckus. All night long, Bobby howled and barked. Bobcat paced back and forth. No one could sleep with Bobby making such a ruckus. Based on the clues from those sentences before and with the word ruckus, what do you think it means? Think about that. Ruckus means noisy confusion or excitement. Something that's unexpected or frightening can cause a ruckus. Let's talk about the clues that helped me figure that out. Here it says Bobby howled and barked. Bobcat is pacing back and forth, and no one could sleep. That tells me there was noise and confusion and excitement going on at the shelter. Okay, now we're going to play a game called Imagine That. You have to use your imagination. Here's the first thing you have to imagine. Imagine we are in the cafeteria eating lunch and our principal, Mrs. C, rides in on a horse. There she is on the horse. Now, what do you think? Would that cause a ruckus? Yes or no? And why? Think about it. Yes, of course, Mrs. C riding in on into the cafeteria riding a horse would cause a ruckus. Students might be afraid of the horse. Everyone might want to pet the horse. Students would be getting up and wanting to touch the horse. There would be a lot of noise and excitement in the cafeteria if that were going to happen. Okay, here's the next imagine that. Imagine that we are on the playground playing, and then all of a sudden we see a spaceship coming to land down right on our playground. What do you think? Would that cause a ruckus? Think about it. Again, yes, that would cause a ruckus. Students might be screaming and running and hiding. That would cause a lot of noisy excitement and confusion if we saw a spaceship landing on the playground. What's the word we are learning that means noisy, confusion, or excitement? Ruckus. All right, our last word goes with this page in the Two Bobbies when Bobby and Bobcat have been adopted into their new home. Here's what it says. Now they live with Melinda, Gus Gus, and Amelia on a ranch in southern Oregon. Bobcat has a window seat to sit in. He likes to play with the robot vacuum cleaner. He turns it on all by himself. Bobby helps with the ranch chores. She goes along on horse rides. On hot days, she lounges in the frog and fairy pond. Let me read that sentence again. On hot days, she lounges in the frog and fairy pond. Our last word for today is lounge. Lounge means to sit or lie in a lazy or relaxed way. So Bobby lounges or sits and relaxes in the pond on hot days. After a hard day at school, where do you enjoy lounging at home? And what do you do when you lounge? Think about that. Here's me. I enjoy lounging in the cuddle spot on my couch. It's the biggest, widest spot, and there's always room for more than one person. So what I do when I lounge is I snuggle with my kids. Here's Gus snuggling with me. Okay, it's time to get out your sticky note and put your name at the top, please. Pause the video until you're ready with your sticky note and your pencil and your name at the top. I told you about where I enjoy lounging and what I do while I'm lounging. I lounge on my couch, and what do I do when I lounge is I snuggle with my kids. I want you to think about the same thing. I want you to write 2 sentences on your sticky note. I most enjoy lounging blank, and in the blank you'll tell where you like to lounge. And the next sentence is when I lounge, I blank. Means what do you in that blank put what do you do when you lounge? I said in the snuggle spot on my couch, and I snuggle my kids. So where do you lounge? And when you're lounging, what do you do? 2 sentences, and I want them to have a capital and a period, please, on both sentences. You can pause the video with this screen so you can use these sentence starters to help you. When you're done, please put your sticky in your sticky spot. Thank you for watching the video. Put your sticky in your sticky spot. Bye.